Okay, hello, folks, and welcome to this review of Weapons. Weapons is an interesting movie. I wanted to include in this review my thoughts after seeing the movie. Again, I'm not going to include any spoilers in this review. This is Penguin, by the way. She is. Um, she's mad. Well, not mad. Well, you never know with cats. But anyways, um, so with Weapons, the movie starts out, and I was like, oh, great, it's going to be a horror movie because that's what I thought it was going to be. However, once we got into the movie, it really turned into more of a, except for one moment in the movie where there was an overtly anti guns sort of statement. I feel like the whole movie was relatively apolitical, which I thought was really nice because some movies, especially modern movies, really try to make political statements nonstop throughout the entire movie. Um, the scene that I'm referring to, they show a gun in sort of in a context where it makes it clear that that's a negative sort of reference. Uh, the actual meaning of weapons in weapons is it's not related to firearms. So I mean, I guess to a certain extent, I was kind of, yes, I was irritated by that sort of inclusion of the political sort of reference there, but it's Hollywood, so you kind of expect it. What I thought was really unique about Weapons is it blends multiple different, um, or it blends multiple different sort of genres or tropes of movies into one movie. So I thought it was going to be a horror movie. So, like, for instance, um, there's like a bit of a thing with clowns in it. And so after I saw the first thing about clowns, I was like, okay, that does it. It's a horror movie. And then there was a specific scene where I was like, okay, the clown's gonna pop out now. No, it's gonna pop out now. No, it's gonna pop out now. And then there was just like nothing. And then after, and my the people I was going to see the movie with saw that too, and they were like, "Oh yeah, I felt the same way." And then all of a sudden, the clown pops out, and it's kind of like it was kind of like so shocking that it was instead of okay, their penguin wants to go away. It was like so shocking that it was one of those things you're just kind of like, that's kind of funny. And so I recall certain times during the movie I was laughing, and it was just kind of like, I of course feel bad laughing in the middle of a movie theater, but it was one of those movies where just parts of it are funny, and you laugh just because or I was laughing because the movie itself was funny. So the best way that I could describe it after I finished seeing the movie is I told the people I was going there to see the movie with, one of the reasons I was really glad I went to see the movie is because, not so much because I enjoyed it, not so much because I didn't enjoy it, but because it was so different from everything else I've seen, like within the past like year or so. And, I've seen a lot of, sort of movies, TV shows. I've read a lot of audiobooks. And the thing that I thought was very unique about Weapons, it really deviated from the sort of common uh, sort of tropes and sort of ideas of modern movies, TV shows, and to a certain extent, books. What would I rate the movie if I had to rate it on a scale of 10? I mean, I would probably give it a. I mean, rating it is okay. So this is subjective, and don't take this the wrong way. I did not feel like I was wasting my time. I still felt like going to the movie was not so much worth it, but it was not a waste of time. It felt like almost to a certain extent, like that one guy who writes those books for sort of teachers called cultural literacy. I think his name is like Horatio or something like that. But I felt like it was useful to see the movie so that I'm kind of aware of the sort of things that were in the movie. But I would rate it a 4 out of 10. It was not a interesting movie, but what was I guess more like unique about it is that it just took so many different sort of components or themes from movies, TV shows, books, music, etc., and blended it all together. And I mean, one thing is like on the movie poster, you'll see like people running with arms in a specific sort of formation, sort of like jet fighters or something like that. And that's very much tied into the theme of the movie and the very name of the movie. But the I mean, like it really takes so it expands on it's sort of it's almost like a book in a certain sense. It expands on the name of the movie throughout the full movie, but yet there's certain elements of the movie which are obviously quite shocking. Like there's it's clearly an R-rated movie in the sense that it gives you like way over the top gore. And I mean, some of it was so outrageously kind of just like what am I looking at here, that I was just like this is almost funny. Because but that was also a good thing, because that made it so that instead of being a scary and creepy horror movie, it went into a kind of comedy in a certain sense. And there was a strong sense of sort of action adventure, sort of detective, like who done it sort of vibe in the movie as well. And so that's why overall, what I felt towards the end of this movie is I really felt a sense of just like this was something that I was glad I had gone and seen. And it was one of those movies like I brought my bag of popcorn in. I was just munching away towards the start, and then occasionally I would kind of be like, "Oh my goodness!" Like this is kind of getting like a thriller sort of element in it. But towards the middle of the movie, it very much was more of a. It felt sort of like almost like a detective sort of TV show sort of vibe. Um, like you got this sort of real Sherlock vibes. I don't know if any of you watched that Benedict Cumberbatch TV show with Sherlock. It really had that sort of vibe towards the middle. And then towards the end, things started ramping up. It felt more like an action adventure type sort of movie. And it really kind of, so it ended with me kind of feeling like, firstly, I didn't care if there was an after scene. I was just like, okay, that movie is over. Like I'm not staying. I don't care if there's an after scene, anything like that. I don't think there was an after scene because the people I went with, they really care about after scenes. However, the thing that was really unique about Weapons was that the movie itself was such a strong deviation from the sort of modern the modern things that make movies what they are. And I thought it was worth going to. Again, I rated it a 4 out of 10. I did not dislike it, but I did not enjoy it either. But I was glad I went. I don't know if that's a recommendation. If you find this movie review helpful, if you like this type of movie review, please like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and please let me know in the comments what your thoughts were. Thank you again, folks, for watching, and I'll see everyone next time. Bye.